that I thought personally, because of the notoriety, that Caitlin Clark was going to, at some point, have to come out and be an ally. Now, some people are mad because they say this is a DEI thing or she's bending the knee. Listen, there's two things going on here, and I'm not going to talk about some of the outliers or some of the comments from people like Cheryl Swoops, who has since praised Caitlin Clark a number of times despite some of her comments that were construed as derogatory or hateful, and the Washington Mystics owner's comments about the cover of Time magazine that shouldn't have been simply Caitlin Clark but the entire WNBA. Somebody who's lost in translation. This is two issues. One, do not tell Caitlin Clark about her truth. Period. This is how she feels. She's had time away from the game to digest everything that's happened over the course of the last 2 years, and in the last year in particular, going directly from college to the WNBA within a couple of months, and the whirlwind that has happened. Not only for her, but the ripple effect and the impact that she has had on not only the current state of the WNBA, but what's been called into question is the past players and the history and the herstory of the game. And so you're not going to tell her what her truth is. If she truly feels that she needs to be an ally, then it's not up to you, because there's never been anyone like this ever for any sports league in the history of sports, except for Tiger Woods. And I would argue that this is bigger, because she's going over to golf tournaments and she is attracting people to come to golf tournaments, women's LPGA golf tournaments that nobody typically cares about. I love golf, but most people do not watch women's golf. But now they are, because Caitlin Clark, who is an average golfer at best, is showing up at pro-ams. The second issue, and my final comment on this, is this. Most people of color, most people in the black and brown community, most black and brown athletes, most black and brown people in general who were either sports fans or not sports fans, will in most cases tell you that when a white privileged, and she is privileged, she's right in her comments. If you haven't checked out her comments as the Time magazine's Athlete of the Year selection, you should check them out. If people in the black and brown community feel that it's still important for white people who basically run this country, white owners, white politicians, and white CEOs, as well as the media, then you can't tell people in the black and brown community about themselves. This has been one of my issues since I started my Sports Daily podcast and being a micro-influencer since the unaliving of George Floyd, is the arrogance of white people. If you are so uncomfortable with Caitlin Clark saying that she has privilege, and you feel that she's been bending the knee, and you feel like she succumbed to the pressure of what many people have been saying, like Paige Beckers and others, well, then you don't get it, and you probably should look in the mirror. Because you are so arrogant that you're basically telling people in the black and brown community what they have to say about how much they appreciate white people in positions like hers, who can leverage their platform and be an ally and be supportive, so that the people who built the league, in this case the WNBA, like the Cheryl Swoopses and the Lisa Leslies and everyone else, the Maya Moores, Caitlin Clark's favorite player growing up and her inspiration, then it's a thing. Don't be so arrogant. Maybe you should look in the mirror and ask yourself why you're so uncomfortable with her being an ally and her saying that she has white privilege. This is Hootie Hoo from the Sports Daily Podcast. Let me know what you think about my comments. I always welcome thoughtful dialogue. It's always tops on the menu here in the Sports Daily. Have a great day, happy holidays, and please check out my YouTube shop where I have over 800 products from Best Buy, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, and so many other places. And I always give you guys the lowest price, even if it means that I get the lowest commission because I want to give you guys the best deal. So check out all my stuff. Have a great day. Much love and light. And as always, if you're having a hard day, put a 1 in the chat, and we will try and uplift you any way that we can if you're having a hard time, especially during the holidays. See you next time. This has been Hootie Hoot, and those are my thoughts about Caitlin Clark. Peace and love.